Here we go. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, that's my boy.
That's right. It is Wednesday, people. You know what that means? It's the middle of the week. It's time for us to get you over the hump. And everybody sit back and become unhinged. Let your hair down, kick your feet up. It's your favorite cousin, Mr. Jody Skywalker. And you know who I am, your favorite uncle, Mr. Who Loves Your Baby, Uncle Pudge. I'm back with the strong internet. How y'all doing?
First of all, we just want to say welcome to the podcast. Welcome coming in, hanging out with us today. Listen, y'all know what it is. It's the Unhinged podcast, giving you your middle of your week therapy because you need something to get you through the next 2 days because we hate it. And tonight we got always the lovely Miss Khaleesi coming to hang out with us. And check out that shirt, y'all. Check out that shirt. Unhinged, because she had to represent, because you know what I'm saying, I had to represent tonight with we'll stand up a little bit with the Hello Black Man shirt. I had to represent. But listen, we also got my boy, Mr. Maurice Hall, aka Pastor Hall. Yes, right, ladies and gentlemen. I got
Ball. I know I wasn't reading that wrong. Right there. Not an H? Wait a minute. Thought I had to go back to school for a second.
I got Pastor Ball in the house tonight. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't got me a pastor on the podcast.
How did you get a pastor on here? How?
Because he wanted them. He wanted them cool pastors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a cool pastor. Now I got to watch myself.
So the thing about being a cool pastor, you be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just be who you are.
I be cussing though, Pastor. I be cussing.
It's okay. You ain't gonna offend me. Like, it's all good.
Okay.
I am on another podcast where it's a lot of cussing on that one as well too. But
I ain't gonna cuss to the pastor.
So that's why I don't tell people I'm a pastor, because, and for that exact reason, people put me in a box and start acting a certain kind of way.
It's not us putting you in a box. It's not us putting you in a box per se. It's us respecting the calling on your name that allows us to therefore prohibit ourselves from being unruly in your presence.
Preacher.
I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I know the Bible front to back. Okay.
Well, listen.
Hold on. You was knocking on people's doors.
Listen, I would do it right now if I could. Are you prepared for Jehovah's return?
Oh, my mom turned Jehovah's on us. I'm like, man, what?
You gotta do that. Why you gotta say it like that? Okay,
she turned.
Sorry, Jody. This is why he don't invite me on the show, because
this is why you can't take black people nowhere.
Nowhere.
We got a nice podcast tonight. So we're gonna drop this intro right quick, and then we're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Oh, my baby daddy just got out of jail, and he mad because I'm dating you, so he want to fight you. And I was like, Florida. Oh, okay. I'm not fighting that big ass.
You know what, man?
Gotta get moving on it. Can't be waiting on it when
this shit orgasm, so I gotta get rid of it. So
just get sick in the plan, but
you can't put me out there like that, baby. She messing with my success rate. Had to let it go.
You bring up some money, they bring up another topic.
I'm like, hey, bro, you bitch looked at me with some funny looking eyes. I don't know what that shit meant, but she looked at me.
If you say you love that person is your friend, then you gotta do the tough thing. You gotta make them aware.
Yeah, Christopher does sound salty. I told you in the beginning, I'm that shit.
Listen to this generation. I'm sorry.
Like I said, everybody that dates my brothers, my close friends, all you are now, you no longer a chick in mine. You just a dude with breasts. Really cool dude with breasts. That's it.
Ain't nothing like it, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Last year we made 20 bands and spent 12 on bills.
Man, I love that intro. Every time I watch it, I love the intro. So
I like that. That's a nice one.
We're gonna let everybody go around the room and introduce themselves. We're gonna start with Miss Khaleesi as first. Introduce yourself. Talk about what you do.
My name is Kalisha Patrice. I am from Natchez, Mississippi. I'm from Fayette, Mississippi, but I don't be really telling people that. I tell them where I graduated from, which was Natchez, Mississippi. I mean, it's all small town country Mississippi, but I am the co-owner of Hello Black Man. It is a company based on transparency and communication in the Black community, especially among our Black brothers. We are trying to bridge the gaps and make you guys open up and realize that we are here for y'all. We love our Black men. We want you to grow. We want you to be back in your kingship as you were born to be. And you can follow me on all social media platforms. Hello Black Man on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, we're there. So that's me.
Miss Erica.
Hello.
I'm glad you got a day off because I'm about ready to call her job and cuss them the hell out.
No, you wouldn't. You ain't about to get me fired. Erica, aka E-Class, from the Kickback Podcast. Go check me out on Spotify and wherever you get your podcast.
All right. She be hurting people's feelings on her podcast too. I be listening. I be having to cover my ears sometimes.
Whatever.
And Pastor Ball, what's up, man? Introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
I am Maurice Ball, who happens to be a pastor of Relevant Church, and I own a kickboxing gym and a sports management company. And I'm a father of a 16-year-old, married 19 years, and from Indianapolis, east side of Indianapolis. So you can follow me on at C Maurice Ball on all social media platforms, except YouTube. I'm still kind of working that one out. So other than that, yeah, I'm good.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you pulling up on us tonight, man. So let's get this thing started. And tonight we always start off with our fan question. So our fan question, right, brought to you by my girl Lola, which she Black people later as usual, was she wants to know, why are men asking women what they bring to the table? She asked the question. So somebody give us an answer. Why are men asking what women bring to the table? Who wants to start off on that first?
Why is the sky blue? Why is that not something that men ask women?
Supposedly it's got to the point where it's offensive. I guess women don't like to be asked what they bring to the table.
Outside of the looks. So I'm taking it that the question is being proposed like outside of how you look and outside how your body shape, what else are you offering or bringing to this relationship outside of that?
Do you prefer to be asked in that way? Would there be a better way to ask somebody? If I ask a man outside of sex, because that's what most women need. We don't need nothing else outside of that. What are you bringing to this relationship? Which is the same thing men probably can ask women. Is there a better way to ask?
I have no idea.
I think there is a better way to ask.
I believe it's what stage of the relationship. Like if we just kicking it, like I just met you and we kind of just feeling each other out. I really don't care what you bring to the table at that point. You know what I mean? Like we just trying to feel each other out. Now, as it gets a little bit more serious, now we can start getting into. Now I can start checking your credit. I can start checking your friends, your people you hang out with.
Hey, there, CEO. It's not afternoon. It's evening. Sorry, Pastor. CEO get butter.
So you made a statement that was, I guess, kind of conflicting for a lot of people, because most people go into situations expecting it to turn into a relationship, right? So if we go out on a date,
you mean most women?
I said people, but if you wanna put women,
most
in the
men
box,
don't go into it thinking about relationship. They think we got an end goal in mind. You know what I mean? Like we're not coming in thinking like, well, man, I think that this could be the one. Now we're thinking like, dang, I bet this could be really good stuff. You know what I mean? So
No.
True. That is true.
I can't speak from a man's perspective, so I'm glad that you're giving it. So what you're saying to me is most men come into situations or go on dates not expecting it to be a relationship type situation. They're just kind of feeling the person out.
well, now we go into it for sex, to be honest.
I would say 85% of the time when a man is like, hey, let's go out on a date, he is filling you out, trying to see like how quickly he can slide. And so when he gets past that, okay, you know, I might be able to slide on this. I think the thing that comes into play is when he's like, I might want to take this seriously. And then comes the question, what do you bring to the table? And I think it's gotten to a point where you have some men that ask that question. And to some women, it's kind of like borderline gotten to a point where it's like, what do you bring to the table? Like some women don't really like that question. I've seen women get really offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you bring to the table? I've seen women get really offended when you ask that question.
So just a quick poll. Who all single on the panel?
Okay, you single.
So a quick question. How often are you getting asked on dates in 2022? Because like before I got in a relationship, I say that with air quotations because we still like we don't really know what we are. We just kind of like, you know, doing something.
What?
How often do you get asked on dates?
I'm a man, so never. Nobody.
I'm about to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, only women that ask me out on dates are booger wolves. All right, so don't know good looking women ask us out on dates. Not somebody I would choose. They either look like Princess what's Princess Fiona from Shrek, right? We're the only women.
Kind of cute. Leave her alone.
I mean, Jody, with these standards, that's why you be getting hurt because you got standards.
What?
Man. Okay, Shaq, no standards. Okay, good.
Wait. So what you saying is I get hurt because of my standards?
Yeah, because you out here going for chicks that look they tens on their best days. Like if you get you a hot 6, she may treat you the way you deserve to be treated.
A hot 6. I have never seen a hot 6.
A hot 6.
But also 6s are not booger wolves.
6.5.
A 6 not a booger wolf either though. So
but wait, we could do halves now? There's halves in this? I thought it was just full numbers. Not as halves.
Yeah, we rounding up, you know.
Hey, I'm about to say beat you. We rounded down.
You gotta make the cut.
Erica, you
we had company the other night, but we just gonna ask her because I know you said you're gonna make that a topic this week. Like when
I was on a date on her neck when she called me earlier today. Go ahead, unmute your mic, Lola.
You said what now? How often on date? Probably only like twice a month. I'm not very often. Oh. Yeah, not very often.
Every time somebody get paid, they ask you out on a date.
Well, it's usually like the same. You feel like the same person, or it's like 3 that's really at me right now for the past like year. So they're usually the ones who like asking me out.
Okay, girl. Because ain't nobody never hit my inbox like, you so cute, I want to take you out on a date. Normally,
you do a podcast with your nigga. You are all.
I said before.
I said, you do a podcast every week with your nigga. Every time I see you online, you with your dude.
But most of the time, you niggas don't want me until I'm booed up. So I thought if I brought him out the closet, then my inbox would be jumping. But it didn't.
No, you in the man. Get high.
Oh, that's the word. I hate that.
Okay, so Lola,
I'm gonna tell you what that is though. Lola, you know how you be at the mall and you see a pair of shoes like they all right, but I don't really like them. And then you leave the store and you see somebody with them on and they put the outfit together like, oh, now I like them. Now I see what you're supposed to do with it. That's how we feel. I couldn't see the outfit in the store, but now I'm out in the street. Oh, that perfectly. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me get them.
So since you proposed the question, Lola, why do you hate the question? What do you bring to the table?
So I've actually never been asked that like on a date or personally. I've heard stories and I've seen it like on other platforms. For me, it's almost like, first of all, I don't like to talk anyways as far as about who we are and what we do, because talk is cheap. So that conversation to me is very, very basic and almost like no thought was put into it. And it's almost very condescending, almost like, first of all, you obviously pursued me. So hopefully you did a little bit of research. So you should know enough about me to know I'm about something. But what we're not going to do is, when you're not going to interrogate me and put myself on display, just like I wouldn't do it for you. I would never go, what can you do for me on a date? I would never do that. So for me, it's very insulting, and it almost just shows the lack of banter that a man has if he were to ask me what I bring to the table, especially on a date.
You know what? I can see that. I can make that sense. It's kind of like a lack of conversation. Like
yeah, like
I don't know. It
But to be
depends.
honest, so I've been married 19 years, and this question has been around forever, right? So really, my wife really didn't ask me what I brought to the table, and her girls that she kind of, validated me, made sure that I checked the boxes. They really didn't ask me what I was. Oh, now when her one girlfriend did, I had one of her girlfriends sit me down and was like, "Can you take care of my girl?" And so I was like, "Oh, okay." And I appreciated that, but a lot of the stuff is you just see it in action. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't see you. I should see how you function and how you flow and how you rock and how you get down. I don't have to ask the question of what you bring to the table, because I should see it. Like, you should ask what I bring to the table because you should see it. You should see when you come to my crib.
Yeah, because people can say anything.
That I ain't going to the basement and my mama upstairs. You know what I mean? Or I ain't asking you to come and pick me up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I ain't got no gas in my car. Can you come and pick me up? Or, every time it's time to pay, it's like, I left my wallet at the crib. Like, those are all, you should be able to see that. And so when you start to see that stuff, you know the value of the person because you see it, and you don't really have to ask that question, in my opinion. I didn't have to ask my wife what she brought to the table because I seen her function in her environment, in her circles, around her friends, her occupation. Before I wasn't real big on material stuff at all, but what she drove, where she lived, all that stuff said, this is what I bring to the table.
Exactly. Bingo.
Well, close this out.
Look, see, man, we're looking at this from a monetary point of view. What you bring to the table is an all-encompassing thing. Not only monetary, but like, how are you as a companion? How are you as a potential mother, potential wife, potential friend? That's like what you bring to the table. To me, that's what it is. It's a conversation or a question I think about. Like, I'll go on a date first, as we said earlier. I'll go on a date first. I ain't got no expectations of a relationship. Now, if that first date goes well, now after that, then my thought process, like, maybe this girl got something. I like what she was talking about. I like the way she carried herself. Now let me start thinking, can I build something with it? Can I have something with it? So I don't know why women are getting offended by the question of what you bring to the table, because, man, as long as I knew, they asked men that. Like, what can you do for me?
Because what your
like, what do you have? I mean, now the tides have turned. Now men are asking the same question. But like I said, if you're thinking about it in monetary value, yeah, that's kind of offensive. But if you think about it like all encompassing, like, how can I grow a relationship and build a foundation with you? How can you help me get to that point? How can you help us? Like, that's all.
Yeah, and even though I don't think of it as monetary at all, but I'm definitely not on any date, first date, second date, 11th date, about to put myself on a stand and go, well, I could do this, and I can console you, and I can nurse you back to health. And please, if you would just, I'm gonna be me, and hopefully that's something that you like, and hopefully you're what I like. But I think for me, talk is cheap though. So that could just be a personal thing. I don't want to hear what you've got to offer, and I'm not going to tell you what I've got to offer. I want us to be our authentic selves. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm definitely not ever. If a man were to ask me that, that'd probably be the end of the day. You know what? I hope you have a great evening. You can ask the waiter what she brings to this table, and it's going to be your and I'm going to leave.
To what Telly said, I think it might not be what men ask what you bring to the table. It might be the dude that's asking it, because it do be some bum ass niggas that be like, what do you bring to the table? Because sometimes
I'll be the main ones.
I've seen dudes ask that question, and it's like, nigga, you looking for a girlfriend or you looking for a mommy? Because that kind of sounds like what you're saying when you ask what you bring to the table. So I think it might be that too.
Well, and I've heard wealthy men do it, and usually their motive is to be condescending or to essentially for you to ask the same thing in return. In the situation that I've heard about it in, that the girl felt almost like after he said what he was bringing to the table, that she almost had to kind of meet his expectations in some way, shape, or form. So I think it also can be used to manipulate people too. I think, or at least it feels that way.
All right. Well, you love that fucking heart. You know what time it is. It's time to switch it up. So we got a new segment in the house. And first of all, let's say welcome Uncle Pudge back to the podcast. His internet has been shit for the last 2 weeks. So for the first official week, we have Uncle Pudge. Uncle Pudge, who is getting the corner this week?
Man, this week, going to the dunce corner is T-Mobile. And I'm going to tell you why. T-Mobile is the reason why I haven't had corner time. You see T-Mobile advertising their internet and 5G coverage, everything so great. They lied to us. I had T-Mobile. I couldn't even, last week, in and out. I can't even game properly on T-Mobile. In and out. Can't even search on my phone. I got to go on their data. And when I go on a data, which is Metro PCS, brought to you by T-Mobile, the same thing. The whole damn company suck. I'm just like, man. So they're going to sit their ass down in the corner because they need to stop lying. Period. Don't get T-Mobile. That's my review.
Oh, hey, after your second week, I was ready to pull up at the T-Mobile headquarters. Right? Because I was
for T-Mobile sponsorship.
Hey, I was finna be at the T-Mobile headquarters.
Hey, man.
You raggedy bitch.
I was gonna be at the T-Mobile headquarters just like that, bro. I'm so gay, bro. That is boy gay.
Unc, I got a question. Have you had this problem with T-Mobile the whole time, or was it after they merged with Sprint?
Man, you know what? I got them when they merged with Sprint. I think it's with the Sprint that it got worse. I mean,
Sprint was ragged. Sprint to drag you down, man.
Man, let me tell you, T-Mobile, you be on your phone, you see your little 5G bars. I go drive somewhere. Next thing I know, I look down, I see H. I'm like, what the hell is H? then you see an E. I'm like, what the hell is an alphabet? What you trying to spell? Jeopardy with your phone? Like, they trying to spell help? I'm like, and then one day, I ain't lying. You know, you see 5G, 4G, you even see 3G. One time I just saw a G. I was like, what the hell is a G?
That's when you out the country.
Man, dude, I just went I'm on the
That's when you in
highway.
Mississippi.
You on Roman. Yeah. You Roman now. At this point.
They just said G. I'm like, man.
That's when, you need to hit a motherfucking U-turn when you start seeing just single legs. U-turn, bro. You don't went too far.
Don't do Mississippi though. Say
Yeah.
Alabama or something.
I can't cause my mom lived in
Alabama.
Mississippi. You know, she loved the sip.
Okay. Well, hey, y'all know it's first of all, shout out to my boy Boone. He in the building tonight. Y'all know it's my favorite time of the week. So, like to pull favorite shit off of Facebook, to talk about actually what we was talking about earlier, right? I pulled this up and I thought I did this one just for you, Lola. Why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy? This nigga responded the same reason why females start OnlyFans instead of getting a job.
Wow.
It's easier. I mean, that's the core of it all. It's just easier.
Is that what it is?
Just easier. Yeah.
Okay. It says nutting a sexy bitch 1,000 times, no baby. Have one night stand with an ugly bitch. Boom, baby rat comes.
Oh, that's cold.
Tell me how many of us know somebody suffering from that situation right now.
Nah, I don't think you're suffering. That's what you get. That's what you wanted. You wanted that. You know how anatomy works. You know how sex education works.
Telly, we are not talking about your first baby mama.
Okay, man. Well, you know. But the second one is
how you feel about her. All right, so, hey, don't cancel me. But I thought this was funny as hell.
Oh, that's cold.
I don't have no part of these are all thoughts of Jody and Jody only.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
That seems to be the disclaimer. That seems to be the disclaimer every time I say something. God, y'all leave me alone. Oh, so since we got back to school, since a lot of our kids went back to school today, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids are going back to school soon. Ladies, this one's for you, Free game, ladies. Check them book bags. That Mike was thinking it's a pencil sharpener. Okay.
Dang, that made me think I don't even know where my rose at for real.
Oh my God.
That's
his
embarrassing.
backpack. They go to school, be like, hey, my pencil sharpener died. Right. What?
Yeah, and they just jamming it in it, boy.
Hey, and they finna be like, why your pencil sharpener vibrate so hard? They don't even sharpen the pencil.
And why it smell like that?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Do studs with children accept Mother's Day gift for y'all not with that bullshit?
You know what?
You know what? That's a good question, though.
That's a good question. Now I need to find a stud with kids and get her some flowers or something for Mother's Day. We got
if you find a stud with some kids, I got some questions for her.
I know one personally, actually.
I know two of them.
I got some questions.
Well, I know one personally.
Okay,
she's my auntie.
And hit her up because we got some questions.
Me too.
Somebody laugh. I know y'all know one person like that. I know y'all know some. Listen, I know you seen somebody every time they blink, it look like they about to take off like a fucking bird. Don't act like I ain't.
Well, they got the lazy eye. One eyelid not strong enough to get the lash back up. So it look like they got lazy eye.
And the last meme of the week. Fun fact: the majority of archaeologists are women due to their natural ability to dig up ass.
That is hilarious.
To our ladies in the house, how many times do you bring up old shit?
Once a month.
Every time.
Once a month.
Yeah, that's about right.
I'm not even gonna ask Lolita because I already know it's probably by every other argument.
Now, if you start an argument, you asking for me to bring up the past.
I mean,
don't start no argument. The past is coming up in the argument. Do you remember?
Y'all need to grow up.
I am Mildish. I'm mature and childish.
I like that. I like that. That was good.
So listen, at least you can admit it. Okay. So before we hop into our main topic, I got a little side note that I wanted to bring up, and I had to bring in an expert because I had questions. And so last year we did a show, and one of my topics was, the integrity of these men who preach with a lot of money, right? And some of the examples are like TD Jakes and I can't think of the white dude.
Joel Austin.
My boy Joel Austin, all these cats. So I got a little short video right here for y'all, right? This is a pastor who about 2 weeks ago was doing a sermon and got robbed.
Ooh.
Yo. All right.
Oh wait. Come on.
Yo. All right. All right.
That man's in the background is very still.
So that is a video of this pastor getting robbed, Pastor Lamar Whitehead. Now, to C's point, the boy in the background was very calm.
Man,
right?
they said don't move.
Boy was very
y'all robbing him. Go ahead, finish doing what you're doing.
boy was I'm talking about very calm, right? But and then about a week after the story got out, right? After the story got out or whatever, Mr. Pastor Lamar Whitehead, he decides to get on social media, right? And he posted this video, and this is what made me think different of him.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Bishop Whitehead, and I'm gonna walk y'all into my prayer closet. This is my prayer closet. And one would think that, wow, look at your closet. Got all my priestly robes and more. Designer coats, you name it, Gucci, Louis, you name it. Fendi, you name it. More coats. And then when you walk into my shoe closet, every designer wear for days. But I didn't come on to talk about designer wear.
Yes, you did.
That's the first thing you did. That's
the first thing you did.
Before we get into it, because I know y'all itching to chomp at the bits. I just want to share a few more pictures, and then we can chomp at the bits. This is a picture, right, of him. Now, if you're not familiar, that is a Rolls Royce Phantom right there, right? That is him in this Gucci North Face jacket, and that's looking like about a couple $100,000 in that one picture. And this is supposedly one of the necklaces he had stolen from him, right? So after seeing those videos and seeing everything, we'll let everybody go around the room. When you see a guy like that, right, does it put kind of like a bad taste in your mouth for, like, not just say like pastors, but like church? Because it's like you have like kind of like no other businesses. And so it's like, bro, does this dude give the church a bad name when he do stuff like that? And he said, I wasn't trying to talk about designer. Nigga, you said it in 5 times in a 59-second video. So how do you guys feel about Bishop Lamar Whitehead? And is he really doing the work of the Lord? Is he out here finessing the system, trying to get paid?
Okay, I'll start. So when you put on social media the stuff that you have, right? These cats nowadays, these young cats are coming, they come to see you. Now, it taints the ministry, but at the same time, what we have to stop doing as people is putting pastors on these pedestals like they can't do no wrong. They just regular, everyday, average cats that just so happen to be called into ministry preaching the word of God. You know what I mean? Like I tell everybody that don't put me on no pedestal, because if I fall, you're going to be coming at me and coming at me sideways. I'm just a regular dude who decided to give this God a chance to use my life to glorify him. When people see this, and this is why especially black church, you don't really see it often in white church. You know, folks, cats are on Joel Osteen, and I get it. And, but at the same time, it's mostly the black church. But if you look at the black church and you look at what church is considered successful, it's almost like, have y'all seen Cadillac Records? Have y'all seen that? So you remember like everybody thought you made it because you got a Cadillac, right? So when you got, even though you was broke, you got a Cadillac, and it made it seem like you made it. Well, in the black church, what is successful is when you numbers and material stuff. That's what success is, not impact. So like for me as a pastor of a church, do I rock designer stuff? No. Only thing I rock is J's. That's really it. But I ain't out flaunting it. You know what I mean? You don't see me saying, okay, you see these right here? These are the such and such, and they cost such and such with the such and such. I ain't got time for that. Because at any given point, if somebody said that they needed them and I'm walking and the guy ain't got no shoes on, I'm gonna come up out those shoes, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make an impact. So when you make it about the material stuff, it puts a foreshadow on the impact that he could be doing in the community, and the lives he could be changing, and the stuff that he could be doing. I was in a ministry that was a fairly large ministry. We were 50,000 strong, international ministry, very, very publicized guy. And I was on staff. I've seen it all. I see all these cats behind the scene. And when you dealt with money, you had to come to me to get it. And I'm talking about these big name cats. And he made a mistake. And in his mistake, it washed out the houses that he paid for people, the grocery store that he put up in the food desert, all the kids that he sent to college, all the jobs that he created, all this other stuff was washed out due to one mistake, right? So something like this gets overshadowed because he is flaunting it. And when cats come to see you, you can't say anything. And to me, I think that was an insurance scam, to be honest with you. I think that because one, if you look at the camera being adjusted, the camera made sure it adjusted to the dude sitting over in the corner. And so when you come in like that, that cat, if you tell everybody get down on the floor, guess what everybody gonna do? They gonna move. I don't know if you ever been robbed, but if you tell me to get down on the floor, I'm getting down on the floor. And I'm going to rob everybody. I'm not just going to rob the one dude. Real stick-up kids, they about that life. They taking everybody's money. They taking everybody's jewelry. You know what I mean? We gonna clean everybody out. So I think that was an insurance scam, because a week later, he does that video. Like you ain't distraught, like, yo, y'all cats, like, man, like, hey, y'all came up here and got me. I ain't gonna be flogging like that, flogging like that, and putting that stuff out there. So that's my take on it. As from a pastor standpoint, yes, it makes people who are not in relationship with God and the work that we do, it makes it a little bit more difficult to do what we do, because people assume that all pastors are like that. And my lifestyle that I live, I have a day job and some businesses. So it affords me the way to live the way that we live. But you'll never know, because I don't flaunt it like that. You know what I mean? And we ain't living large and nothing like that. We live how we live comfortable.
Can I ask what kind of businesses and where are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Indianapolis. Originally, we moved up from where we live at now, from Alabama. So we've owned hair salons. At one point, we owned two hair salons. I own a I own a one of my bigger businesses was a credit repair and credit education company that was nationwide, and I ended up selling that. Um, I currently own right now a sports management company called Grind Time. So I help college athletes get these endorsements now that they can start to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. And then we own a franchise called 9 Round, which is kickboxing, a 30-minute kickboxing joint. I DJ. Um, I do videos. You know what I'm saying? Like I just try to teach my son because I'm the example for him. So I try to teach him that there's ways to go out here and make yourself successful and be established. And I do a ton of work in the community. So if y'all ever just like pull up, I mean, we build houses, we deal with homeless, I do makeovers for homeless men, we get women in. We find the need in the community as the church and show up. You know, I ain't really big on people coming sitting and doing just listen to me all the time, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry that wasn't your question, but yeah. So yeah. And then I cut hair too. So, but I don't cut for money on that one.
Loved it.
He got
Are you
12.
from the Caribbean?
See,
You muted, Jody.
I can't. You're breaking it now.
Are you from the Caribbean?
No, I'm not. I'm from the east side of Indianapolis. I'm a hood kid.
Oh, okay, because that's a real Caribbean thing to do, to have like all those different skill sets. That's what we know for. So okay, look, that's Boo said he Jamaican.
Boo, funny.
So, see, what do you have to say on this pastor that just got hit with a million?
You said the city? You told me.
Go to somebody else.
I was going to go around.
Come back to me.
Okay, come back to you. B, what do you have to say about pastor that just got hit for the milli watt?
So I was watching somebody else's podcast like a week or two ago, and they was talking about how he low key been scamming his congregants. Is that the right word? Congregants? Congregation. There we go.
Sound good.
So one of the stories was he had a program where he was helping people get in houses. A lady, they said she was 56 and came in with her life savings at the time, about $90,000. Gave that man the money. He's supposed to help her get a house. Time goes by. He not helping. She reach out like, hey, what's going on with the house at? He turns around and says, oh, no, that was just a donation to the church. So when I see this, I think, oh, her nephew or her son that found out that he ran a play on her. It's like, nah, you coming up off that chain. And that's probably why only he got robbed. Because he was the one who did it. Like, nah, you gonna come up off that. And to your original question, Jody, how does it frame the church? I think we have to. Well, part of it is reading the Bible is important, right? So in the Bible, it talks a lot about, in multiple instances, people are going to say they are Christians, say they are of God, say they serve Jesus, say all this, and they're lying. And you need to be aware of that, and you need to make sure that you are choosing proper leadership. You know what I'm saying? You got your head on a swivel, and I think it says, by all things, try all things by the Spirit. So when they say that, I imagine like you go to like Home Depot or something like that, and they got all the different paints on the wall. That's the Spirit. Like this person said, this is midnight blue. So I should be able to go to the wall, grab midnight blue, and put it up to whatever you said was midnight blue, and they should be the same. If it's not the same, then you not doing what this is, because this is the standard, not what you say. So I think we a lot of times we can kind of get lost in other things that what's going on and not necessarily comparing things correctly, and we get mad at the person, and also forgetting that God purposely chooses trash people to do his work. Because if I chose somebody that was good and I chose somebody that was perfect, you would think that they did it. When I pull somebody out of the gutter and choose to use them, you can look at them and say, I know you're not smart enough to pull that off. How'd you do it? So they can say, oh, I have a God that has helped me pull this off. But if things not connecting, it's probably they probably trying to run a play on you.
All right, I like it, Miss Lolita.
I definitely agree that I'm pretty sure that was an insurance scam, for sure. But to answer your original question, we definitely need to separate man from church and God and keep those things kind of separate. God uses all of us, and those who are willing to be used and those who believe. So I don't necessarily let people's mistakes or anything like that go against them. But you should be able to also have good discernment and realize when something isn't looking right. You know, if there's smoke, there's fire. So hopefully his congregation does see that he probably still needs a little bit more work. But I also don't think that being wealthy is a bad thing. If he's doing right by his congregation and everyone there is good, if they're sick, he's there. If they need help, monetary help, he's there. And he just so happens to have finer things. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a misconception, particularly in Christian communities, that we associate wealth with bad and evil. And we really need to change that mindset. God wants us to have our cup to overflow so we can help others. So, but also we got to make sure that people ain't taking us for a fool. So I think it's a lot to unpack with him, but he still needs some work, I believe.
Amen. Miss Erica?
It sounds kind of fishy to me. I'm really not familiar with the story like that, but I was listening to a podcast earlier and they were saying that his church, needed some work. Was kind of raggedy, and knowing the lifestyle that he lives and seeing all the shit that he has, it just
you can tell by the backdrops he had up on the wall that their church was raggedy, man.
Yeah, it just
right. How your outfit nicer than the wall in the church
to me.
Stop it! I heard. Wait a minute.
What?
Now that he said that, you're right, because that backdrop looked absolutely horrible. It's like, damn, bro, your whole fit costs more than your whole.
Yeah, that's a dirty backdrop they have in the back of the club. That's not no real. That should not be up on that wall.
God, I'm just not realizing. It's just not rolling through my head. Like, we got.
It's back on me.
It's back on you.
And you want me to talk about it?
He still ain't ready.
I mean, okay, so let's just go back.
I'm with Lola. It's an insurance scam.
Let's just go back to the beginning. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, right? So pastoring and preaching in churches and Baptists and Methodists and Catholic and all those things, I can't fully relate to, right? Because in the Jehovah's Witness community, let me prop my people up for a minute. We don't pay the preacher. We don't pay the yard man. We don't pay anybody. Everything that is done within the community is done for the purpose of building the church. Like, we are voluntarily doing all the things that we do within this. Like, literally, when we built the Kingdom Hall that we had, everybody, man, woman, child, was out there building it, and it cost like less than nothing because the people of the church was doing the work. And like, when things need to be done, there's checks and balances, and they go over these checks and balances with the church community. So nobody is able to really steal money per se. Whereas I've also been in the Baptist community. My husband, my spouse, my significant other, whatever he may be, his dad is a pastor, and so it's like, I've seen so many aspects of different things that go on in the church community, like the building funds in the churches and the different things that they donate money toward. And I've never seen growth in the Black community the way it should be. There are 47 churches in one community, and none of these churches are putting back into the community like I think they should. Our schools suffer, our children suffer. Like, these churches should be building up around each other to make sure that the community is thriving. So, like, I just feel like it's such a divide and such a separation. And I think that Christianity and different religions has built this problem that we have. Okay, but back to the point. We're talking about this man and this preacher and what I think about him. I don't have no thoughts about him. I done went off on a whole tangent about something else to the point
It's
where
all good. Uncle
like,
Paul closes out.
like he don't even matter. Like it's definitely a scam. It looks scammy. It looks ridiculous.
It look funny.
It's not even worth it.
Chris said getting all that tax-free money, getting all that tax-free Jesus money. Yeah, he's overflowing.
I'm gonna start a church. Y'all follow me.
Jody said, low key, I robbed that nigga too. Boo said, a church by my house sell methadone.
Man, Tim Book.
Nah, he for real. I've been.
Boo probably dead ass. Said, Uncle Punch, close us out. Close us out. So we get over there talking.
Man, this is a rough one because we've all been to black churches because we're black. And you know, when the money flow into the church and black people and money in the church, it's always an argument. There's always people looking at like, what is money going? And you don't believe this dude, this dude had a big ass Jesus piece and triple rope chain. And I'm like, dang, dude, you got a lot of, look at that. It's like perception is reality. It looks like he robbing the church, man. I'm just saying, it looks like he robbing the church.
I mean, that's fair.
But you know, you look at Joel Osteen, he got his mega church, but then you find out this dude worth like 20 million. But you find out also he done sold books, done lectures, all this other stuff that he made his money with, outside of the church. So who's to say this guy didn't, he got some, something going on outside the church and he made some of his money. I don't know. I'm just saying. When you think of a pastor, you don't think of a pastor being all flashy and, Gucci shoes and Fendi bags and all this.
Gator boots.
Yeah, you think a pastor should live humbly, look humble. I don't know. It's just really weird to see him with all this high price stuff, especially his car. It's like, dang, dude,
all that drip.
Yeah, like, man, that's crazy. Now, as Pastor Ball said earlier, he knew a guy who did a great deal of things, sending kids to school, building houses, feeding. In the community, he made one mistake, wiped all that out. Who's to say? Did this dude actually help the community? Did he build people up? And some people in the church come to him and say, hey, I need help with my rent or light bill or something. Did he do that? We don't know, because all we see is him and all the fancy stuff he's obviously flaunting, which that's weird to me that a pastor would have a prayer closet. He called that his prayer closet. And he looked like inside of Macy's or something.
He ain't here to talk about no designers, but he said the word designers.
Right. This stuff looking like, look like the inside of a Gucci store and Hot Topic and all that. Like,
I'm not here to talk about my designers. But
Gucci and Hot Topic store is hilarious.
Like, Jesus, dude. You said this your prayer closet. What are you praying about in there?
Like, and why you have to show that though? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
And to be honestly, like from a ministry standpoint, your prayer closet is sacred. That's not something you going around showing everybody. It's not something that I'm going to flaunt and go show, hey, here's where I get with God at right here. You know what I mean? Like the distraction that happens in there, like you're saying, hey, this is where I get with God at, and I got all this designer stuff. Now, if I'm in your congregation and I see that video, I'm gonna feel some kind of way, because what if I'm struggling and I came to like you said, what if I came to the church for help, but I see you pushing this Lamborghini truck?
And that's that closet is the size of an apartment. Exactly. So I'm struggling to make rent, and you got my rent all on the wall.
And one of the things that when you talk about church and like they cast lots for Jesus' robe. Like he walked around with a treasure, so he wasn't broke. You know what I mean? He just was humbled about how he moved. And I think the misconception is, I think where we got it twisted is we make it about us, and he never made it about him. You know, Jesus never was about Jesus. Jesus was never about preaching Jesus. Jesus never was never like, hey, yo, it's about me. No, he was always talking about kingdom business and the Father, you know what I mean? And being used as a vessel. And so I think where we get messed up at in church, in the Black church and church in general, I ain't gonna just say Black church because I've been around some white churches that do the same thing. We get it twisted that the money is supposed to be used for living and not ministry. And I'm not saying, like, if you're on staff at a church, and this is why I don't it's hard for me to accept a salary for church, is because in back of my mind, I'm thinking somebody labored hard for this. And even though this is my job and God can provide any way that he wants to, I need to be a good steward of what he's given me and not outliving the people that I roll with. You know, again, it's a hot topic, and you can get 100 million different answers. People that's like, oh, he's cool as long as he's blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, and can't nobody on this podcast and can't nobody judge him. He's gonna have to stand before God, and God's gonna hold him accountable for what he did and what he did do. So, like, when I give my tithes, I don't care what you do with it. Why? Because my obligation is to bring it into the storehouse. Now, God's gonna hold me accountable because I gave, but he's not gonna hold me accountable to what you do with it once it's in your hands.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I want to say one more thing, and then we can switch. So he looked like, when you see these young rappers that get killed and they post their body up in the club, that's what this picture remind me of right there.
You know what?
Like you're definitely right.
Like dead serious. He looked like one of the rappers that I got. Like, you've seen the pictures where they post them up in the trucks and stuff.
Is that a vest? Put that back up. Is that a vest he's wearing?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, it's so it's a bishop's robe. So really, it goes down like a ephod. Well, I can't say ephod, but you know, like that robe that he had on. So it has a longer piece at the bottom. So that's the top piece, and then it goes down and covers his legs.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I tell you. I'm sick of me in that damn horn. All right. So it is time what everybody has been waiting for. It is that time of the night, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It is time for our main topic. And tonight's main topic, you guessed it. Woo, we have a video that has circled the internet of Shawty got flued out, but she wasn't trying to let Buddy blow her back out. So before I know everybody got 1,000 opinions. We are going to show you like a minute and about 20-second clip of the conversation that was had beforehand. And then we're going to take it from there. So let me get right quick, share screen, and put it up for y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Black people.
You really gonna record me?
No, I'm recording this shit. They need to know.
You really gonna record me?
No, they need to know. I done flew her all the way out to LA.
Nigga, you lame. Nigga, you lame.
We've been FaceTiming. Come on, we've been FaceTiming every day.
I don't give a fuck.
We've been FaceTiming every day.
And you really taking me all the way back to the fucking airport? You really taking me back to the airport?
Yes, you go to the fucking airport. Yes, you go.
And you're taking me back to the airport because of what? Tell me
why. You don't give me no cheats.
Nigga, I'm not fucking obligated to get what?
I flew you out.
Nigga, what are you talking about? Nigga, you're lame as fuck. No, you're lame as fuck. No, you're fucking lame. You're lame. Just take me to the fucking airport. Just get me there. Just get me there.
Walking around my crib, titties out, stuff like that, taking showers in my shower.
Nigga, it's my body. What you talking about?
I don't care. You can't.
I don't have to give you my coochie. Are you okay? I don't have to give you my coochie.
Laying in my bed? No. You're about to get dropped off at the airport.
Oh, I don't even know why the fuck I came here.
Look, she didn't want to give me no cheeks.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Stop recording me.
She didn't want to give me no cheeks.
Stop recording me, nigga.
Don't fly her out.
Give me the phone.
Watch out. Don't take my phone.
Stop recording me.
No. Don't fly her out. Look, don't fly her out.
Bro, you...
She's not off no cheeks. I've been FaceTiming her.
This is my cheeks, nigga. Yes, and my coochie. What are you talking about?
For 2 months.
I don't have to give you... Nigga, just get me there. I don't care, nigga. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about none of that shit.
Meet out on FaceTime. She flirting and stuff. You want a free trip? You wanted
to whip your wiener out, nigga. I ain't asked you to put it in the fucking camera.
Okay, I'm gonna whip.
Oh my god.
That's so disgusting.
You start with me this time.
That's a lot. There was a lot going on. And that
I need to see everything leading up to this. I need to see all the messages.
That's the first start of the video. And
I need the FaceTimes. I need their conversations. I need all of this.
Listen, we got one more. Then we're gonna take off on this shit.
Okay.
Nigga, because you ain't getting
no get out. Get out my car.
Whatever.
Get out my car.
Just make sure you give me my fucking confirmation number.
What? Ain't no confirmation number.
What you mean?
Ain't no confirmation number. I cancel the flight. I cancel your flight. Buy your own ticket. You been on the cheeks. It's so bad. I ain't in your bag. Here, your bag right here. Cool. Go. I'm dead serious. You don't want to give me no cheeks? You got a deal.
Nigga, you're lame as fuck. Because you can't get no coochie.
I'm saying you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm not paying for your ticket. I'm not paying for none of that shit. Hey,
you can't get no pussy.
All right. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. You gotta buy your own ticket.
Not another word.
Woo.
Can we see a picture of him? Anybody got a picture of him? Let me see what he
Listen, I don't know.
Somebody got background noise. Okay, it's gone.
Sonic say her cheeks, his money, both going back to their rightful owners. West is a problem.
I want to see a picture of him.
Hold on.
You see that? It said the video is fake in the
Yeah, the video is fake. That's
yeah, it was terrible acting. It definitely was some terrible acting, but we could stick to the core of the.
Yeah, we got
subject. Yeah.
No expectation, but that should have been expectation. Okay, so a video is fake, but we're gonna get to the core of it. So, I guess we stick to what we seen. Hypothetical, man flies you out, you bopping around his crib, but you don't want to give up the cheeks. Is he wrong for kicking her out? Or is he wrong for not? Because me personally, I think like this, and this is probably why I get canceled a lot. Shawty, we grown as fuck. If a nigga pays for your plane ticket and invites you to his house, you sleeping in his bed, and you quote unquote walking around naked, I don't see why I can't get some pussy. I don't understand.
Because it's not yours to get.
Because it's not yours.
It's mine.
You're right, and it's yours, right?
100.
So because it's yours.
What
right?
you come out here for though? What you come out here? What you come out here for with a man for?
Because it's yours, and as we talked about on our last podcast, I am high on consent. I don't even do drunk sex. What was my phrase? If she too drunk to ride, you gotta let it slide. You know what I'm saying? I'm very big on consensual. So
right,
it's yours. You can take you and yours back to the airport. Cause
right,
I'm with Kalisha. Why did you bring your ass over here if you want to go let a nigga fuck? Like let's be real. So let's go around the room. Who's wrong and who's right?
I have smashed Some of the lamest dudes.
Oh, you want to go first? Ain't there some shit?
Baby, look, you know, I run a business on transparency and communication. Follow me, hello black man. So I have smashed some of the lamest dudes because he bought me a nice meal in the restaurant. Okay, so if you fly me out somewhere, there's already expectation that there is something that's gonna go along with this. Is that the way life should be? Probably not. But you've had a conversation about this. Like, you're not flying across the country from Florida to LA and not had a conversation about what's going to happen when you get there. So, like, okay, get that out the way. Even if you don't want to have sex, get that dude a hand job and go on by your business. Like, stop playing games. That's why people get hurt. That's why people get raped. That's why people get killed. Because you're playing games with people's feelings. People not flying you across the country to look in your face. They got FaceTime. So stop playing games with people. Like, don't do that. Like, that's just my opinion. No,
right.
Stop putting yourselves in situations that you can't get out of, because no matter what the situation may be, you got to know that there's an expectation. If I leave my house at midnight and go to some dude's house, there's an expectation that he may want sex. If I don't want it, then maybe I should just stay at home. Like, if that's something that I don't want to do,
first of all, it's after 10 o'clock. If it's after 10 o'clock and we ain't talking about linking up the fuck, and get off my phone line. What we talking about?
After midnight, we and granted, my old man, I've been his place plenty times after midnight. We ain't do nothing. But I'm just saying, it's always in the back of my head that if that's what he wants, I'm gonna give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
But like, was that at a point where y'all were already established a relationship though?
No, we ain't even established per se right now.
Okay, so here's my point, right? It's there's a lot of people out there like, oh, why can't people just get to know each other? Listen, if we ever established, I am trying to date you, I want you to be my girl, I'm trying to get to know you, and I want you to come hang with me, then yes, it is on me to understand you might not be in a place to want to have sex because we're trying to build something bigger. But if I'm on FaceTime with you and all we talking is that dirty good shit, and then I spend a bunch of money to fly you out and you walking around my house with your titties out, I don't understand why I can't stick my dick in between them. Like, bitch, you bullshit. And if that's the case, you go ahead and hit the goddamn door. Like, I don't understand. And just like she said, you women need to stop acting stupid. You know my phrase, the longer the last, the dumber the bitch. And you see how long her lashes was, okay? You see how long they was. So with that being said, it is like, stop playing games because you're putting yourself in danger. And you lucky that the only thing this nigga did was record and kick your ass out. Because there's a lot of niggas that would have raped your stupid ass, beat your stupid ass, and kick you out their damn house and left you with a way to get to it without a way to get to the airport.
This is the problem. So too many times we look at women and girls and we say, don't you wear that skirt too low? Don't you go out at night? Don't you go down? Instead of telling the men and the young boys, you can't take it. So that's another conversation for another day. But I will say, I'm not getting on a plane unless I'm landing. Oh, I can't say what I want to say. Damn, it would have been a good little roll up. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm personally not putting myself in that position just because of me, just not necessarily because I'm worried about somebody hurting me or whatever. But I tell that to say, if I get on that little plane and I land, and after a few more conversations in person, or maybe I see your demeanor in person, because we've been talking on FaceTime up until this point, but now I see how your homeboy sending you to the store to get Black and Milds or something. You know what I mean? I realize you're lame when I get there. I have every right to rescind the offer. And yes, you can send me home and you don't even have to pay for my ticket, because my mama always said, keep a little money right here. And you ain't got to worry about it. I'm so thankful I didn't even have to Uber home to the airport. I'm thankful you were gentleman enough to take me to the airport, and I'm a right on home. So I don't think he's wrong. I don't think anybody was wrong. I think that everybody's approach could have been a little bit more mature. She could have been more mature. He could have been more mature. But if I get there and I see your homeboy's little boy and you don't get the box. You don't get the box. And I'm going home, and that's okay.
Not little boy. Wait, have you ever been in that situation before? Because no, I'm all the way intrigued. You've seen a nigga with a little boy? Explain that.
No. Like, I've been I'm from the hood. Like, I'm from 33rd. You know, I'm from the hood.
We know. We know.
Yeah, so I've seen like guys like out, like, you know, maybe it's a group of us, and hey, go to the store and get us some whatever, and he get in the car and he I don't want you. I want the guy who just sent you to the store. But that's me, and I have my own reasons for all of that. But I'm just saying, the logic still remains. If I get there and your breath stinks, so if I get there and your hygiene or your living situation, I get to rescind that offer. I don't owe you nothing. But again, I don't mind paying my ticket going home.
But you would be upfront enough to be like, hey, listen, I was gonna throw you this good, but because of A, B, and C, I'm not. And if you
I don't owe you nothing. No, I'm out. I'm not the first person to rescind the offer. I'm not the first person to rescind the offer. You should know by now why you ain't getting no box for real. You know your breath hot. You know what I mean? You know.
Brian be knowing.
We damn near 40 or older. You know what's wrong with you.
Oh, damn near 40.
So Lolita, she just touched on my point. Y'all niggas is losers, bro, and I think that's where you miss it. Like, you're a loser and you got taken advantage of. And I think they said in the chat a few times about expectations, and I said this last night. Me and Jody was on our man Doug's live last night, and I said you should not have expectations. You should know. I should know whether or not we gonna do X, Y, and Z before that happens, before a ticket is purchased. This is what I want to do. Do you want to do that? Now, if you don't want to do that, that's cool. You can stay where you at. I can stay where I'm at. Or, you know what I'm saying? Even if you come out here, but the rules of engagement need to be laid. The thing is, you got taken advantage of, bro. And you should really also, I don't understand why so many dudes are so geeked up to fly a woman out that you never had sex with before. Like, you don't know her. You are crossing state lines or country borders with a stranger, nigga. That is dangerous.
Important bad box. Just important bad box. Box probably not even any good.
Like, listen, B, I will give you all the credit because you don't know if that pussy got monkeypox or not.
You don't know, and you just fly
and you just fly anybody on in from anywhere. So I am weary of that. There is a part of me, and I 100% will agree to you on that. First of all, I ain't never flew nowhere. Okay, like if you can't drive to the house, I don't know.
First of all, you too far. Yeah, you
can't drive. You too far. I ain't never met a woman so fine that I was going to spend money on a plane ticket. Ain't no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why spend money on a plane ticket? You know what I'm saying? Like I just never did it. Maybe because I'm financially responsible. You know. And bitch, I want to keep my points on my Capital One card that I'm using on my Expedia.
Man, you blow your points on a stranger and she don't get. Man, stop playing with yourself, bro. You tried it. You thought the money was going to cover up the scent of lose that's on you, and it didn't.
Listen,
and that's why you in this position. That's why you halfway crying, taking her to the airport.
Basically, he was to me, that whole situation is like, I might as well have just gave you the money. And I should have just paid for the sex.
At that point, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's coming down to, I bought you a plane ticket. You stayed at my house. You laid in my bed. You ate my food. You used my water. You did all this stuff, which comes up the dollars. Why couldn't I just say, why wouldn't he just say, all right, I'm going to give you $1,200. You're going to come out here and we're going to do it. Because basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, that's what it is. Because he said, I flew you out here and you didn't give me none. So I'm equating the sex to the act, to
what I spent. Yeah.
To what I spent. So why not just cut to the chase? You know what I mean? Like, and save the hassle of having to try to shame her. That's what I don't get. Like I get it that it was a joke, but I don't like the shaming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you try to shame her because she said no. Now, like if she says no, no means no, regardless. I don't care where you stand, where you are, what you're doing. If you say no, if I fly you out, we go out to eat and we do all this and you say no.
That's it.
That's it. Period. I can't.
That's it.
Because the next thing is somebody catching the case. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't that serious where maybe it's not this time. Okay, hey, I get it. You said no. Maybe like Lola said, maybe my feet stink or something like that. And it just changed it. It just changed the whole perception of you or something like that. But at the end of the day, you went back safely. You didn't feel violated, because the real issue here is a mental thing. Like, how many other women did he coerce into doing that and then making them feel bad? Because it's a deeper thing to me that I hear when I see something like that. And if she would have done it, there's a deeper thing on her end that is internal to something that needed to make her feel like the only way she's valued is if she give that up. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of other things that when I start hearing and start dissecting this, some issues that go way back to me, he's using his status, and he's probably flaunting his status around, and the status normally catch a certain kind of chick that is already like, okay, you pushing a charge or a challenger, you got this, you got that, ooh, and now I'm going to give this to you. When he has no substance, he has no value, he has nothing that he's bringing to the table other than the material stuff that he has, and that's what I see.
I bet you he asked her during the date what you bring to the table. I bet you he asked.
Let's get that out of the way, ladies, and it's for my ladies out there. Please, please, please stop letting these niggas in these challenges and charges that let y'all think that they got money. These challenges and charges are fucking cheap. You can get a challenger and charger for less than $25,000, okay? And they probably leasing that motherfucker with a 14% interest. And you can get all the body kits you can to make that money. Ladies, I'm gonna put it to you like this, okay? If this nigga is telling you he got a Hellcat, okay, a Hellcat is 707 fucking horsepower. Ladies, if the nigga doesn't have a red key fob and drag sport mode in his car, he does not have a fucking Hellcat. He might got a Scat Pack with some fancy shit on it, but he don't have a Hellcat. Hellcats run about $80,000. If that nigga car costs less than $80,000, he does not have a fucking Hellcat. Stop letting these broke ass niggas trick you into thinking they got something they don't.
Take this comment off the screen.
I got that comment. I was about to get to it, right?
Okay.
Whatever happened to men earning the box?
Nobody cares anymore about that.
Nobody cares. Niggas got money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all these, a lot of these. It's not just men; it's with females, because females want the money. You got the city girls out there hyping you up. Bitches out here really out here fucking for bags. So it's like, what happens to niggas earning the box? Because the thing is, you want, like the girls say on rap, you want this pussy, you gotta buy me a Birkin. You want this head.
I think people are still earning each other and stuff like that. I think so.
That's the people getting married. Absolutely. You see those people, lovely, happy relationships. You earning that. You know what I'm saying? You earning that. But these people that are walking around that's on their phones at these expensive ass restaurants, buddy, you're just paying for her to take a few pictures on Instagram and say she was at a dinner so she can get her back blown out and go on to the next nigga.
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and the other thing too is, bro, if she likes you, you don't have to ask. Like, she came out here to give it up. Like, she wants to give it to you willingly. Like, if there's a fight or if there's a disagreement, she never liked you. She used a lick and you got caught. Now you had you decided to have a pity party and you wanted to be the take my ball and go home nigga. Because they not playing the game that you want to play, so can't nobody play. Now you about to lead the playground. Now everybody sitting around looking stupid.
Well, the problem is she was looking stupid because old girl thought she had a nice little stay for a little minute, and that's her bad.
Now she did try. She tried her hand.
She tried her hand and got mad when Buddy was like, "Hold up, but you're not giving me no cheeks. Oh, I'm taking you back to the airport." You know what I'm saying? So now she's sitting around like, "Oh, you lame." No, you played your hand, right? You got so far. He figured it out, and he sent your ass home.
Really, they both lame.
I think she was upset about the presentation. If he would have said, "Hey, look, young lady, I have other people I like to mingle with, and I'd like to, I got shit I got to do this weekend. So it was cool. I'm glad you had a good time, but you got to go." I think maybe her reaction may have been different. But it was a presentation of, you ain't give me none. So of course she got very defensive, in my opinion, because she wasn't even as mad as I would have been. I would have been like, bitch.
Okay,
Lola. I give you nothing.
Lola, look at the video, right? And this is the thing, it's the context clues. Do you think a nigga with a black and white Dodge Challenger with a morph kit on it is gonna have that type of intellect to have that conversation that you just had with us?
Nobody on here or in the comments. Look, I don't speak for him. Maybe that's been your dream car, and it's okay. And I believe in you. I don't listen to Jody.
I don't want one, honestly. I feel like
Triggered because I had a charger that was stolen.
I feel like they're cliche and tacky, to be honest with you.
My charger got stolen, so I
have to see your charger.
Did you find it? And did you claim the insurance money on it?
They did pay me for it. It a little lousy $3,000. It was old as dirt. I got it like when I graduated high school, and I had it, and I had paid it off, and somebody stole it out of the federal building parking lot. So I'm a bit triggered.
That's a bold move.
I know, right? And they had it on camera and everything. I never heard anything else about it. That's been about 3-4 years ago.
Man,
so you just graduated high school 4 years ago?
No, I had to charge it for 10, 15 years.
I
said I had paid it off. It was old. The charger was old as me.
They did you a favor.
No, they did not. I had just got my stuff all the way revamped. I had new tires. I had all the stuff on it that Jody talking about. It was brand new. That was my
so you did them a favor. That's what you
I had just filled up with gas too. Do you know how? Gas in your car? Oh my god!
I hate that.
They stole it on the full, bro. Don't that be the worst when your car break on the full tank? Like, you raggedy bitch. I just filled you up. You gonna do this shit to me?
Sick. How dare you?
Hey, I had my shit in the mechanic shop for like 4 days, and I'm sitting there looking like, I know this motherfucker ain't just go out like that with a full tank of gas. I'm mad as hell.
So mad.
Picking up food for his kids and everything in your shit.
Yeah. So we're back to the main topic, right? So like, let's say this, like, hypothetically, right? And we talked about this. So let's say as a dude, right? Do you have the same expectation if you drive long distance to go see a chick? Do you kind of like I drove all this way because, you know, X, Y, and Z, and if she don't give you none, is it kind of like the same thing? Like, all right, man, I'm going home. This is not what I drove out here for.
No. Okay, so like I said, I've been married 19 years, right? My wife lived 3 hours away from me when we met. I drove 3 hours, actually about 3.5 hours to hang out with her. And then drove 3.5 hours back to the crib the same day.
That's love right there. But see, that's what happened when you love somebody. You did that shit because you was like, I like you enough. I'm trying to build something with you. So I'm gonna make this type of sacrifice, right?
No. So let me give y'all the context so y'all won't think we were dating for a long time. We met in September, got engaged in November, and got married in May.
But when you draw 3 hours, did y'all have sex? And if she hadn't had sex with you, would you been mad? That's the question.
We did not. To be honest, like one time we failed. One time we got sideways, but the other times no. What
do you mean fall? That don't sound like a fall.
Because that's pastor. He not.
Come on, man.
I'm being honest. Like, so we wouldn't be caught up in situations like when she came and when she came to stay with me, we would go stay at my friend's house so that we can have accountability. You know what I mean? Because we didn't want to build our relationship on sex, because after the sex was gone, then what we seen something that was bigger. And then when I came to where she was in Charlotte, you know, I would sleep in the guest bedroom and we wouldn't be sleeping in the same room at all.
So after 19 years, how important is sex?
Oh, it's still it's top one. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I just was trying to make sure I was just checking.
It never goes below 1.5.
Okay.
I ain't never slipped and fell in some.
Sure, Jody.
No, you know, but to say that, like, no, it was the perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you in that situation, like you said, if she come and she walking around and she, butt naked and all this other stuff, it's smelling like melonberry and coconut oil and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I happened to be, was walked into the room and not knowing that what she was doing, and I was like, oh, and then
you fell, right?
Intentionally. Yes.
I dove.
Yeah.
But see, you knew.
But we had to realize, like, because we all started, we both started relationships like that. And if this was something that we wanted to be different, then we had to make different choices and different action. You know what I mean? Because we wanted something different. We had to do something different. Because if not, we would have ended up doing the same thing that we was used to. And then it just would have became about that. And then we would have got old and it just would have been on to the next.
So you saying though, so you walked in there, right? You seen her naked, right? And so what happened was your little head connected with your big head, right?
For sure.
And then you fell, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And at the end of all that, your little head, right, was like,
got him. We fucking got him.
He set this whole thing up to play that.
So here's the thing. As a medical professional, I want you guys to know that the little head is not connected directly to the big head. The little head is connected to nerves and sensors. So like your big head doesn't even have to be stimulated for your little head to actually get the moving. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there for the people.
Well, she got on with this. That was technical. Uncle Pudge with the Thundercat sword in the background. What is your take on this? Because you a man that travels and flies. Uncle Pudge, if you go a long distance, are you clapping cheeks, Uncle Pudge, or are you like?
Man, I used to travel and fly. Don't get me in trouble.
Oh, my bad. You used to travel and fly.
But man, I've actually been in this situation where I was the guy that went out there and didn't get no cheeks. It's like, wait a minute. Let me speak on the people first. The dude, I don't know, man. He said they didn't talk for 2 months, FaceTime all the time. When you doing all that, something had been said. It's like you had to set up a time and date when she was going to come out. And if anybody come out, then they always asking, what we going to do when we get there, you discuss all that. So they probably did discuss that they were going to do whatever, but she got there in person and then the chemistry was off for her. And maybe she was like, because you can have great chemistry with somebody over the phone, FaceTime, but then you get in person, something's off, and it'd be like, yeah, I thought that, but nah, it ain't gonna happen. Now, he shouldn't have had, like the comment said, it shouldn't have been no expectations, but some expectations. She's stupid for getting on a plane, totally broke and can't get herself back at home. You never go anywhere. My mom always said that. You never go anywhere without any money in your pocket. Just in case something happened, you can get yourself out of the situation or back home. So by her getting dropped off and then him telling her, find your own plane ticket, to me, I'm not that type of person. If things don't go as planned, I'm not going to strand anybody. That's just crazy. I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me, but have I ever flown anybody out here? Man, yeah. But then again, every time I flew a chick out, I got the cheeks, whatever. That's just me, And I'm just saying, it was already established, I once flew a chick out from Canada, but whatever. Some cats just ain't got it like that. Now, not recently, but a couple of years ago, 3 years back, I flew out to Dallas because I talked to this chick and whatever. And I flew out to Dallas, man. I get there. You know, we didn't already talk. We had some expect, and it just never happened. You know, it was like, man, what happened? I don't know. Maybe like I said, chemistry thing. She wasn't feeling me like she was over the. Hey, did I make a scene about it? Nope. I just enjoyed my time in Dallas because I ain't never been to Dallas. So shit. You know, went back to the hotel. You know, I had cheese in my pocket. So she tried to get a free vacate. That's all. You know, it's like that scenario we talked about last year when, you know, what's the expectations if you going on a vacation and you invite a chick on vacation? Is she obligated to give it up because you taking her on a trip? It's like, I don't know, man. You know, like, how you gonna play dumb? A guy invites you to an extravaganza. You know what? He not doing that just because he like the way you look and the way you smell only. Hey, I'm trying to, you know.
You trying to slip and fall into something.
Right. This is a vacation. I'm taking you to a tropical paradise. I ain't taking you there just to hear about your favorite book choices of the week.
Got the room with the balcony, you know. Ocean view.
I think two major things that we've all touched on tonight is just communication. One, communication is very important. However, as Uncle Pudge and Lolita said, you are entitled to change your mind once you get to the scenario. And changing your mind should not completely destroy, you know, the whole situation. Hey, listen, I'm not ready. I'm not feeling you the way I think. But that's still communication. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've got to be able to be open and talk to people so you don't get yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. And number two is, I feel like I'm the only one on this panel that smashed somebody obligatorily. Like, am I the only one up here that smashed somebody? No. I thought I had to. Like, he
no.
You're
not the only one.
out here like, no, you can change your mind. I'm like, no, he didn't.
I couldn't change my mind. First of all, she drove 2.5 hours.
I'm gonna do this.
she drove 2.5 hours, cooked me out to eat, and brought me a steak. At that point, I had to.
Tell her, Jody, that was the least I could have did.
The least I can do. You know what I'm saying? For all the effort and hard work that you put into today, that is the least I can do. The least I can do.
Give me your purse.
Yeah, so considerate.
Thank you. All I'm saying is just appreciate me when I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
You can't get the good, but I'll jack you up. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. To the fence, right? For the fellas out here, if you are uncircumcised, you have to disclose that shit at the gate.
I swear to God, you need to. Don't let me find no turtle in there. Do not let me find no peekaboo. Oh.
Don't worry. I don't judge, but all I know is it. Don't let me, and it's. No, that's the problem. That's all I'm gonna say. If I do this and I can smell it, put it back.
As a medical professional, I don't want to see no turtle power, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Hey,
I don't like it.
Hey, on game, I can see it now. Listen, I got something to go to. I get it. That turn, because at that point ain't no slipping and falling. But hey, she gonna have on those same shoes that them people have on the fast food restaurant, them super grips.
Burger King shoes.
Hey, you see that? Y'all seen that video with the orangutan and he grabbed no boy by the knee?
Oh yeah, just pull him through the gate. Yeah,
through the gate. And she ain't slipping and falling. Like, oh, that's on everything, boy.
Oh, I just got nauseous. It brought back a bad memory.
Also, fellas, I don't think a trip should be the first time you smash. I think you should establish smashing pre-trip. So
communication.
Yeah, you like we've been saying all night. You just gambling. You don't know what she gonna do.
Y'all better have phone sex first.
Yeah, sounds like you just rolled the dice. You bet it all on black, and then you mad because because you didn't hit red.
You bet it all on black and still ain't getting no pink. Ain't that some shit? You know,
asking somebody else anyways, because no chick that is deprived of the dick is coming all the way to Los Angeles and not wanting the dick. She is ready for the dick.
And that's why I
so
said
she don't want it at that point.
Because
she didn't already got something before she left.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm like this. If you fly me out, I will suck your titties in the car. Like no on game. Like I will leave you roll
the least I could
the
do.
least I can do. Oh, why you driving? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we in the back of the Uber hot upper. This is because the thing is, me and Brian are generous. You know what I'm saying? We are generous men. We don't want you to feel like your efforts was in vain. You know?
Please.
And if you fly me out, if you fly me out, I'm posting you on Insta. I might piss a lot of people off.
Don't post me nowhere. Don't do that.
I'll post the wrist. Just post your watch. Like, yeah, we out.
I'm posting on a story.
On a date, kind of nervous. Yeah.
Post my fingernail. You can post my hand on the shaft with no more than that.
Hey, those perfectly angled pictures like this where it's your face, but you just catch like the chin.
Like a shoulder or something.
Right.
Them are deceptive pictures.
I
I've seen many people post like that.
Man, I got other things to do.
Oh, my bad. So as a collective, like Brian, if you get flowed out, you putting out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Telly, if back in your day, if you would have got flued out, would you put out?
Well, I'm obligated, man. You spend money on me.
Thank you.
On me a plane ticket.
See, if you got flued out, you put out. Hey, pass the ball. If you got flued out back in the day, you not putting
100. I'm going out there with the intentions and some spray, some numbing spray.
So watch it pour on the flight. Like, let me see what I can do when I get there.
Right, for sure.
Right. Some Pornhub links.
Crazy in this.
Lola, if you get flued, you the only person. I get flued out, I ain't going for it.
Listen, I mean, 9 times out of 10, yeah. But if I get there and shit ain't sweet, I ain't got it on me, man.
I ain't got it on me. I left that box in the house. I thought I put it in my carry-on. I left that box right on the sink.
I love it, Lola. I'm using it.
God dang.
When you pull up on Lola, I'm fresh out of pussy. Ain't that some shit?
Fresh out.
You get the banner pockets. I could have swore I had.
Literally. Careless.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. So before we go, you know, it is Jody's words of wisdom. So every week I like to do this thing where I drop a little bit of knowledge on people, you know what I'm saying, to get you through the week of whatever you're going through. So this week's words of wisdom. If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experiences, no matter what anybody thinks, then you will learn and grow. So take that with you for the week. Let's show these words of wisdom.
Love it.
We are out. We don't even have an outro. What happened to our outro? We don't got an outro.
It's with Lolita's box. See, it ain't on her.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's in layaway.
We don't even got an outro, y'all. Damn. Hey, we just go dip out on y'all like straight black people, y'all. Bye.